I feel the master. I feel him. Y'all ready? They ready? I feel the master. I feel him. Y'all ready? They ready? Well, come on. Well, come on. Y'all ready? They ready? We ready? We ready? Come on. We ready? We ready? Come on. Grand four. to do the rest. Step in the way, multiple shots are going through your chest. You must have gone past the charges, boy, you was blessed. And I'ma take him out the game, y'all. It ain't no thing, y'all. You wanna buck, I rip you up like a chainsaw. The game's wrong, boy, please believe it. Keep your Bible with you, cause you gon' be needing Jesus. Feeding for chart-topping hits. And Archie ain't gon' stop dropping shit. I'ma make $1 million, then stand on the top of it. Rocking it till the day I die in this game. Archie with the back, boy, adding the fire to the flame. Country boy, you said something. If you're ready, why you stumbling to the flow, huh? If you're ready, why you stuttering, I ain't know. I'ma show 'em why they call it dirty. There is no mercy, no player haters, cause he ain't worthy. Heard of me then? Hell no, before I bet you done heard of me now. Atlanta, Georgia, where the dirty be found. See, I done did this since my younger days. Only 16, but my back is never underage. So let's get paid, cause I stay ready for the G's. And you is crazy if you think that you ready for me. So who's ready now? Who's ready now? Knocking down his knees, stay as crunk as can be. Who keeps it crunker than we? Nobody, that's why we come to throwing bows in the knees. See our foes and they freeze, they be some suckers at heart. We ready for what you're bringing, so we bust you apart. The busters ain't hard, stack them up, I'm knocking them down. Another cop in the ground, boy, who's stopping me now? Chopping them down, see how quick you drop to the ground. Claim to be raw, but your ball likes to knock you around. I done twisted up the game. Not in the now, and if you didn't see it coming back, boy, locking it down.
Time I do, it makes me laugh. How did our eyes get so red? And what the hell is on Joey's head? This is where I grew up. I think the president owner fixed it up. I never knew we ever went without. The second floor is hot for sneaking out. And this is where I went to school. Most of the time had better things to do. Criminal record says I'm broken twice. I must have done it half a dozen times. I wonder if it's too late. Should I go back and try to graduate? Life's better now than it was back then. If I was them, I wouldn't let me in. Oh God, every memory of looking out the back door. I have a photo album spread out on my bedroom floor. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Every memory kid since then. I haven't seen her since God knows when. Oh God. Every memory of looking out the back door. I have a photo album spread out on my bedroom floor. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Every memory of walking out the front door. I found the photo of the friend that I was looking for. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. I miss that town. I miss their faces. You can't erase. You can't replace it. I miss it now. I can't believe it. So hard to stay. Too hard to leave it. I could relive those days. I know the one thing that would never change. Every memory of looking out the back door. I have a photo album spread out on my bedroom floor. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Every memory of walking out the front door. I found the photo of the friend that I was looking for. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Look at this photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh. Every time I do it makes me
Oh, her eyes make the stars look like they're not shining. Her hair falls perfectly without her trying. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every day. Yeah, I know, when I compliment her, she won't believe me. And it's so sad to think that she don't see what I see. But every time she asks me, do I look okay? I say, when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. Yeah. Her lips, I could kiss them all day if she'd let me. Her laugh, she hates but I think it's so sexy. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every day. Oh, you know, I never ask you to change. If perfect's what you're searching for, then just stay the same. So don't even bother asking if you look okay. You know I'll say, when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. The way you are. The way you are. Girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. A singer in a smoky room, a smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlights, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Working hard to get my fill. Everybody wants a thrill. Paying anything to roll the dice just one more time. Some will win, some will lose. Some are born to sing the blues. Oh, the movie never ends. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlights, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the
I feel the master. I feel them. Y'all ready? They ready? Well, come on. Well, come on. Y'all ready? They ready? We ready? We ready? Come on. We ready? We ready? Come on. Grand folk. Break grand folk. Break grand folk. Break grand folk. Come we ready? We ready? We ready? We ready? There's no question about who the best. They sing on lay the track and hard to come to do the rest. Step in the way, multiple shots are going through your chest. You must have gone past the target, boy. You was days. Only 16, but my pocket's never underage. So let's get paid, cause I stay ready for the G's. And you is crazy if you think that you ready for me. So who's ready now? Who's ready now? Knocking down his knees, stay as crunk as can be. Who keeps it crunker than we? Nobody, that's why we come to throwing bows in the knees. See our foes and they freeze, they be some suckers at heart. We ready for what you're bringing, so we bust you apart. The busters ain't hard, stack them up, I'm knocking them down. Another cop in the ground, boy, who's stopping me now? Chopping them down, see how quick you drop to the ground. Claim to be raw, but your ball likes to knock you around. I done twisted up the game. Not in the now, and if you didn't see it coming, fat boy locking it down.
Time I do, it makes me laugh. How did our eyes get so red? And what the hell is on Joey's head? This is where I grew up. I think the president owner fixed it up. I never knew we ever went without. The second floor is hot for sneaking out. And this is where I went to school. Most of the time had better things to do. Criminal record says I've broken twice. I must have done it half a dozen times. I wonder if it's too late. Should I go back and try to graduate? Life's better now than it was back then. If I was them, I wouldn't let me in. Oh God, every memory of looking out the back door.
Annual commencement program, we're almost ready to begin with the processional. We work very hard with our graduates to convince them that a commencement program should have dignity. I think you'll see the fruits of that labor in a minute. I would like to solicit your cooperation with today's program. In order for all graduates to be recognized, please refrain from any unnecessary noise throughout the ceremony. We especially ask that there be no noise makers, whistling, or screaming as the graduates enter the floor. Air horns are strictly prohibited, and anyone using them today will be asked to leave the arena. We also ask that you please turn off or silence your cell phones. The Showplace Arena has asked us to remind you that no one is allowed beyond the barrier except graduates during the ceremony. The Calvert High School graduation ceremony is being professionally videotaped and digitally mastered by AJAC Productions. Order forms and DVDs can be found in the lobby near the main entrance to the arena. I'd like to remind the families and friends that they can meet the graduates after the ceremony outside the main entrance on the northeast side of the building. Please wait in this area for the graduates. We appreciate your help in bringing dignity to this commencement program and your cooperation with our requests. We hope you enjoy the ceremony.
Helicopter. Oh. Left. Face. Order. Colors. Rest.
Audience, please stand for the processional of Calvert High School's class of 2019 and remain standing for the CHS alma mater. You can find the words to the alma mater on the back of the program.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please remain standing with the graduating class of Calvert High School during the presentation of colors by Calvert High School's Naval Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps. Color guard and continue standing while the national anthem is performed by senior Linnea Jordan. She will be accompanied by her sister, Latrice Jordan. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose brush stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming in the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, yet proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? You may be seated. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, parents, family members, faculty, and the class of 2019. Welcome to the commencement exercises for Calvert High School's class of 2019. I would like to acknowledge some special guests who have joined us today. Seated in the audience are Sheriff Mike Evans and at this time, I'd like to introduce our guests seated on the stage. Ms. Dawn Walensky, President of the Board of Education. Ms. Inez Claggett, Member of the Board of Education. Ms. Pamela Cousins, Member of the Board of Education. Ms. Tracy McGuire, Member of the Board of Education. Dr. Daniel Curry, Superintendent of Calvert County Public Schools. Dr. Stephen Lucas, Principal. Mr. Marcus Watson, Assistant Principal. Matthew Harris, Graduate with Distinction Speaker, Class of 2019. Senior class sponsors, Ms. Billy Jo Aris and Ms. Donna Walmart. Seated on the floor with the graduates are Rebecca Hoffman, Student Services Team Leader. Ms. Kathy Sutton, Assistant Principal. Mr. Mark Whitten, Assistant Principal. We have an empty chair among the graduates. This chair is in honor of CHS student Anthony Vidal, who is no longer with us. Rest in peace, Anthony. And I am Brianna Douglas, Senior Class President, and will also be serving as your MC today. Our faculty and staff are with us today, and I ask that those staff members stand up. These educators here today represent a dedicated staff who have worked to prepare us for our post-secondary opportunities. They have been a huge part of our growth and development as we have moved from young ninth graders to adults. I also invite any other employees who have taught and supported any members of the class of 2019 to stand. Graduates, this is our last chance to give our teachers and staff a round of applause to show our appreciation and gratitude for all of their hard work and dedication. And most importantly, surrounding us today are our families and friends who love and support us, guiding us towards this spectacular day. I would like to extend thanks to all the parents and extended families for a job well done. I'd now like to introduce the principal of CHS, Dr. Stephen Lucas.
Thank you, Brianna. Good afternoon, students, staff, family members, distinguished guests, and the Calvert High School class of 2019. I would like to start my address this year by recognizing those who have either served or are going to serve in our nation's armed forces. So can I have all current and past members of the armed forces stand, along with graduates Autumn Brevard-Twilliger, Joseph Bowles, Nathaniel Callahan, Alexis Commodore, Charles Dittmars, Garrett Libby, Adam Ridge, Gabriel Vicmuto, Andrew Nicorson, Sidney Friedel, Casey Giggy, Jeffrey Malone, and Christopher Reary. Join me in a round of applause for these to thank these patrons. Academic expectations by maintaining a grade point average of 3.9 or higher. These students have earned the title of Graduates with Distinction. Can I get all the graduates with distinction to stand, please? Thank you. The top 5 graduates from this class in ranked order are Matthew Harris, Sidney Friedel, Parker Donnelly, Jessica Mazurek, and Michaela Bell. Can I get those graduates to stand and be recognized, please? Thank you. The class of 2019 is an exceptional group. The class includes 292 graduates, which means that over 95% of the class successfully navigated their way to graduation. This is roughly 7% above the state average and about 11% above the national average. Now, usually I take this time to wow the crowd with all the excellent data points the class has accumulated, like the fact that this class has earned over $5.2 million in scholarship money. But this year I want to point out how this class, the class of 2019, was so much more than just data. For starters, the class of 2019 was an especially well-rounded group of students. In addition to numerous athletic achievements like SMAC and regional titles, not to mention all of the state championships racked up by Justin, this class excelled across the board. Dance team, marching band, mock trial, chorus, and jazz all put on truly memorable performances. whether it was Christian or Kendall leading our fantastic orchestra, Abby playing the role of a singing pilot, or NJROTC CO Andrew McCorson giving a motivating speech to his Leadership Academy graduates. The members of this class did things every day which impressed their teachers and each other. Leadership was another area where the class of 2019 excelled. This year, student leaders like Gabi, Isaiah, Emily, Gabby, Sophia, and Josh took on the task of teaching our Believe in You classes, which culminated with them arranging for a visit from Kevin Atlas, a 7-foot man with one arm who captured our hearts and taught us to love each other and to love ourselves. I'll steal a phrase from Kevin when I say, this class crushed it in the classroom and they crushed it outside the classroom. Yeah, you do. Graduation commencements are a time for celebration and looking forward. People have been telling these graduates for years how things will be in the real world, and they will soon have their chance to find out how true those warnings really are. I, however, traditionally take this opportunity specifically not to offer our newest graduates advice or suggestions about how to be successful. They'll hear that all the time. Today, I would rather take this time to celebrate with you, congratulate you, and let you know what a great experience it has been working with you. Being an educator is a blessing we do not take lightly. The rewards are endless. In times like today, remind every person connected to your education how wonderful it is to be a part of your world. These experiences are because of you, and I thank you on behalf of all your teachers, instructional staff, coaches, guidance counselors, front office staff, cafeteria staff, building service workers, school nurses, and administrators. I would like to leave you with two things, however, I have come to believe are nearly always true. First, besides an unwavering trust in God, education is the single greatest factor that will affect your quality of life. Buckminster Fuller created the knowledge doubling curve in 1982. He theorized that at the turn of the 20th century, knowledge doubled about every 100 years. Knowledge doubling rapidly increased in the 1940s to about every 25 years. In 2000, human knowledge doubled every year, and now knowledge and information double nearly every day. Because of this, every person from homemakers to homeowners, app developers to zoologists, must strive to hone and sharpen their skills continuously through education. As American author Barry Taylor put it, we've got to learn to live, and we've got to live to learn. The second thing I know is life is hard. If you do it right, so do it right. So I wish you well, class of 2019, to quote Winnie the Pooh, how lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. Congratulations, I wish you Godspeed, fair winds and following seas, and I thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Lucas. At this time, we will have a musical selection, Defying Gravity. It will be performed by Ashley Dacus. She will be accompanied by Cynthia McDonald on the piano. At this time, we will have a musical selection, Defying Gravity. It will be performed by Ashley Dacus. She will be accompanied by Cynthia McDonald on the piano.
Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Too late for a second scene. Too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts. Close my eyes and leave. It's time to try to find gravity. I think I'll try to find gravity, and you won't bring me down. I'm through accepting limits, 'cause someone says they're so. Some things I cannot change, but till I try, I'll never know. Too long I've been afraid of losing love. I guess I've lost. Well, if that's love, it comes at much too high a cost. I'd sooner die defying gravity. Kiss me goodbye, I'm defying gravity, and you can't pull me down.
Thank you, Ashley and Cynthia. A big part of our senior class is the Senior Class Council. Would the council members please stand? In addition to myself, we have Mackenzie Eller, Vice President. Claire Thompson, Secretary. Dominic Fiore, Treasurer. And Angel Contra, Historian.
We are pleased to have the 2019 class president, Brianna Douglas, on stage today to share a few reflections. Brianna plans to go to the College of Southern Maryland and then transfer to the University of South Carolina, major in marine biology and mechanical engineering. She's a member of our field hockey, cross country, and track teams. She is also a member of the Student Government Association and the National Honor Society. Would Brianna Samantha please stand, please? Thank you. Please welcome Brianna.
Thank you, Dr. Lucas. So, I would like to say good afternoon to our administration, faculty, relatives, and friends. But most importantly, I would like to say congratulations to the graduating class of 2019. Oh my goodness, it just feels so surreal that the day has finally come, doesn't it? We're all in our caps and robes and stuff, and it's pretty weird because usually it's around like midday, and if you're still wearing a robe, it means you've pretty much like given up. But we are here to celebrate not giving up. It's crazy, isn't it? We've actually made it. You are actually here anticipating the end of this speech. Well, none of you can graduate till I'm finished, so listen up, because I got some things to say. 20 days ago, we all went to Calvert High as students for the last time, took the last of our finals in our blue and gold swag, and said our tearful goodbyes to our underclassmen friends. We have indeed come a long way to be here today, haven't we? Remember in middle school when we used to text our friends, "Wear a skirt with me tomorrow," because none of us had the backbone to even dress up by ourselves? I know you do. Good old days, right? When all we had to worry about was what we were getting at the book fair. Fast forward to the present, and now we have to start making big boy and big girl choices. Mom and Dad can't hold our hands forever, but you know what? That's okay. Our teachers have taught us so much, but our parents are the first teachers we've ever had. And yeah, lessons about rhetorical strategies and like trick functions are important, but lessons about love and compassion are among the most important things we have ever learned. So thank you. Our first teachers have no lesson plans, no study guide, and they don't know if they've done a good job until right around this time in our lives. So, to all of our first teachers, our parents, if you're ever unsure how well you've done, I can confidently look around this room and say you've done an amazing job at molding these boys and girls into the strong men and women they are today. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for igniting the ambitious spark within me and keeping it steady. I love you. With the help of our parents, teachers, friends too, we're on our way. We don't need to text our girls to dress up with us anymore. We are grown now. Well, I mean, except for those of us who are still 17, the U.S. Department of State refuses to recognize us as grown yet. But whether you're 17, 18, or 19, we still did it. Over the course of these past 4 years, we have probably sat through more than 24 hours of SATs, ACTs, EOCs, ABCs, and just about every other acronym for standardized testing, and we lived. I mean, I think that's something to celebrate, right? We are looking the rest of our lives dead in the eyes, and there's nothing we can't do. With the lessons we've learned about mitosis and whatever bureaucracy is, there is no reason we can't change this world. Never, ever follow anyone else's path. Unless, you're like in the middle of the woods, it's nighttime, it's really scary, you happen to see a path, then you should probably follow that one. But in any other case, make your own. We all have the potential to not only change the world, but to do it our way. We owe it to our community and ourselves to make our own mark on this world. That reminds me. I remember way back in 9th grade, I'm just chilling in English, mind my business, and after Dr. Polly totally roasted me for having a bad hair day, despite him not having any. She had us memorize a small excerpt titled "Our Deepest Fear." I was like, all right, let me just get this grade and move on with today, right? But there is something about this piece that stuck with me many years after, and you'll see why in a second, because I'm going to recite a piece of it. Not to flex on anyone because I remembered it for so long, but because it's just so important, and I think everyone in this room can take something from it, just like I did. It goes, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who might be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? But actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God, and your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within all of us." End quote. If you only pull one thing from this, let it be to live unapologetically, because you are deserving and worthy of everything that is good in this world, but you are the only one that can rise up and get yours. So, graduates, we might as well start today, on the first day of the rest of our lives. There is no better day than today. The time is now. No matter where you're headed, maybe school, workforce, or to join our military and first responders, you are destined for greatness. So rise to the occasion and live your best life fully. A wise woman once said, you have to know that as long as you love who you are, your morals, your values, all that type of stuff, you're okay. Wait, never mind, that was Nicki Minaj. Oh well, same thing. Anyways, the point is, the world is yours. May you all have the courage to do what you please with it. I am more than confident that you all will leave this world a better place than it was before. With that, I am very thankful for my time with you all, friends, teammates, and staff. Please celebrate safely tonight. Thank you, class of 2019.
Thank you, Brownie. We will now have a musical selection, This Is Me, performed by our band, chorus, and orchestra. They are under the direction of Dr. Cheryl Blockland, Ms. Kelly Combs, and Mr. Dimitri Bedell.
performance. Next, I would like to introduce Ms. Dawn Belinsky. Ms. Belinsky is the president of our Board of Education. We are fortunate enough to have her here to share her remarks.
Hello, class of 2019. I am very honored to be here to bring greetings to all of you on behalf of the Board of Education. And, what an exciting night or afternoon. You realize that you've spent 12 or 13 years of your life in school, right? That's as long as many of you can remember. And what do your principal and loving teachers and counselors do to show appreciation for all of your hard work? They kick you out of their buildings. That's what they do. No, seriously, they celebrate you here tonight. We all celebrate you here tonight with all the pomp and glory that we can muster because we understand the importance of what you've done. We understand what a turning point this is in your life. Big changes are going to happen for you all. The biggest difference I see between life during high school and life after, besides the fact that you don't have to ask to go to the bathroom anymore, is that now you're starting down the road of making your own choices. And the choices that you begin to make once you leave here, those choices could end up defining you. So you got to be careful. I mean, it's true about anything in life that if you want to make progress, if you want to reach the next level, that means you need to have some kind of strategy. It means you need to take the time to think things through. Take it from every adult in the universe. Thinking things through beforehand will make your life so much easier. A quick example about what happens when people act too quickly before thinking was when college students at Harvard, Princeton, and MIT were asked to respond immediately to a simple question. The question was, a bat and a ball cost $1.10. The bat cost $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? Half of the students in that study said 10 cents. Do you see where that's wrong? You might have to think about it a little while. Half the students were wrong. But these students, it's not that they're not smart. These were pretty high-end college students. It's not that they're good at math. They just didn't think it through before they responded. You guys have proved that you're smart because you've worked hard, you've met all your graduation requirements, you spent 12 years of your life looking at something, working at something, and now you've accomplished it. But smart people make mistakes all the time. And psychologists say there are two main ones. The first is not to ask for help or for guidance from others. Why? Because a lot of us think that we know what to do. Just like I did. When there was a dead pine tree in my yard that was right next to our fence, and a storm was coming, I knew it was going to crack the fence, but my husband was out of town, so I said, shoot, I've done this before. I've helped fell some trees before. I know how to do this. So I looked at the lean of the tree. I cut the notch right so that it would fall exactly away from the fence, and that tree fell exactly right on the fence, To this day, I have no idea why I failed at doing that, but what I did learn is that I needed to be more patient and to give myself time to get help from others. That way, even if the outcome was the same, I could have shared the blame and it wouldn't have been all my fault. The second most common mistake is just not thinking through all the possible consequences that an action you're about to take might have. Consequences that maybe you haven't considered. Like the guy who thought it would be really cool to land his quadcopter on his girlfriend's head. It got so tangled in her hair that they had to break the copter into teeny weeny little pieces just to get it out. Luckily, nobody was hurt. So what I'm saying is that sometimes snap decisions may not end well, and trust me, it's never pleasant to have people saying, "What were you thinking?" It's best to get in the habit of asking. You'll save yourself a lot of heartache and possibly reduce the amount of embarrassment in your life. And just so you know, Mr. Google does not know everything. So learn to ask. And while you guys are out there wearing your thinking caps in your daily lives, I need you to start working on solving some couple of problems that my generation has left for you. First of all, could you please find a way to make college affordable so that everyone can have access to higher learning? And while you're at it, could you also solve the student debt problem? That one, you guys might encounter as if you're choosing to go to college. How much debt you want to saddle yourself with. There are several tips on how to avoid those loans. You can start with community college, you could do the work-study program at college, but also don't forget, you guys have lined up tremendous amount, what is it, $9 million scholarships already, but don't stop looking for scholarships. Do it every single semester. They're out there. There's a lot of them out there. My daughter was majoring in journalism and was also a scuba diver, a rescue diver. Can you believe that in her junior year, she found a scholarship for women divers in journalism? I mean, so just keep looking at what your passions are and you can land lots of money as you go through college. Okay, so now back to the problems that you need to solve. Next is climate change. Can you please fix that for us? I know that it might take you a few years, so in the meantime, if you ever get to the point where you want to buy a home, remember to buy high, not price-wise, elevation-wise. In our own country, they're having to deal with sea level rise in our own county, in two specific neighborhoods that flood frequently because of the sea level rise. And just look at the central U.S. right now. There is historic flooding going on. So if you're going to buy a home, buy high. Next, you need to bring manufacturing jobs back to the U.S., or better yet, just create some new ones. What that means is some of you need to get together and start a business, but the problem is that the thing is you need to start it in Calvert County, okay? It doesn't have to be manufacturing, it can be any kind of job. We just need you to help us expand our business base, which means then you could solve one of our biggest problems in the county, the fact that there are not very many jobs for our young people. If you come back to Calvert County and you create the jobs here, many more young people would come, and then we'd actually have a fun, hip place to live and work, huh? And, oh, by the way, those who get a teaching degree, why don't you come back to Calvert too? I think there's some of us up here who might be able to help you find a job. I could go on and on, listing the challenges that are out there just waiting on you, but I need to cut this short, so I'm asking one last thing that I'd like to ask. Please help bring our country back together. We need you to teach people how to be patient with each other, how to be tolerant of new or different ideas, how to be civil with each other. If you can do that, then you will have fixed a whole host of problems in our society that could otherwise get in the way of you leading your life the way you want. The more people get along with each other, the easier your life and our lives will be. So I want to thank you in advance for all of the great work you're going to be doing in helping us to solve all these problems. We're really counting on you to do that. And wait, I have one last thing. You and your colleagues around the nation, other high schoolers, when compared to those who graduated in the decade or so before you, you guys are proving to be way more active in politics and in taking a stand on issues than students used to be. So you need to understand that each one of you, has an enormous capacity to use your voice, to make a difference in what happens in this country. So get registered to vote, pay attention to what's happening around you, and exercise your newly acquired adult responsibility, go vote. So on behalf of the Board of Education of Calvert County, I offer hearty congratulations to the graduating class of Calvert High School. Have a blast out there, guys.
Thank you, Ms. Belinsky. It is also a pleasure to have our superintendent, Dr. Daniel Curry, with us today. We are proud to have him deliver his congratulatory remarks to Calvert High School's graduating class of 2019.
Thank you, Brianna, and congratulations to the Calvert High School class of 2019. Let me give you another congratulations. It's a little odd. It's with your help that Calvert County has developed a reputation as one of the highest achieving school districts in Maryland, but it's also with your help that Calvert County is recently honored by the U.S. Department of Education as one of the only school districts in Maryland to earn Green Ribbon School District status. Now, that partly comes from some of your fellow classmates who much more than a year ago asked if we would install refillable water bottle stations in each and every school. And I don't know if anybody's looked at the counter on your station, but at Calvert High School, you have saved the equivalent of the use of 26,137 bottles from being used and tossed away in landfills or worse. That's equal to 1,090 cases. Congratulations. Countywide, we've saved almost 2 tractor-trailer loads of plastic water bottles. Now, recently one of our employees was relating to me his experience as a college athlete, and I considered that there might be some important lessons to be shared with our graduates from that experience. I've never talked about sports before. I figured those students athletes usually get enough attention. But your athletic director tells me that 63% of you have participated in at least one sport during high school. You know, it's clear that the sports experience has been an important part of many people's growth. I played football myself. I'm famous. You may have heard of me. In 8th grade, my FOP Colts were playing the Item A Black Diamonds. The quarterback was Nick Saban. Yes, Nick Saban, who now has a pretty good record in Alabama. I played end on both sides of the ball. Item A Black Diamonds had not been defeated for a couple of years. I put him on his back at least 3 or 4 times that night, and we won the game, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So it seems to me that going to college is hard enough without demands of full-time athletics. So I sought out a number of Calvert County employees who attended college on full athletic scholarships and asked them to share what it was like. Their experience sometimes went far beyond that of playing a sport. Their experiences might apply to those of you who will be involved in other activities. They'll also apply to those of you who aren't heading to college or aren't sure what's next in your future. After all, famed UCLA basketball coach John Wooden said, "A coach's primary function should not be to make better players, but to make better people." Here are just a couple of their stories. We have among our teachers a former track star. She attended Mutual Elementary, Southern Middle, and Calvert High School. She got a full scholarship to college. She had a great college career, and then she turned pro. I didn't even know you could be pro in track. She became a national champion in the 400 and world champ with her team in the 4x400. Athletics taught her the value of preparation, self-motivation, commitment, dedication, focus, and goal setting. Because of her athletic experiences, she's been able to transfer those traits into the real world, in the work environment. She uses those skills to nurture young adults to believe in and commit to goals and dreams. She says the greatest challenge of juggling the expectations of a college student athlete was realizing that failure is an option, just the same as success. The pressure is real, and it's on a grand scale, but it rests mostly with you. You are the benefactor of your destiny. What are you going to do to achieve it? It just all depended upon how determined you are to be successful. Failure will come. It's evident. It is the most profound piece of the puzzle in maturation. How you handle it is the greatest test of your character and will to succeed. Her favorite quote is from her college track and field coach, who liked to say, "Success only comes before work," in the dictionary. Now, according to statistics, she was not going to do anything with her life or be anybody worth remembering. But she gave herself a chance. She wrote her own story. A story in which she left a legacy everywhere she planted her feet, on and off the track, as well in the real world. And she advises you, today's graduates, to ask yourself, how do I want to be remembered? If you answer that question now with your goals and dreams in mind, then you can achieve success with integrity, purpose. Now, another one of our teachers took a little bit different pathway. He says he struggled academically in middle school and a little in high school, so he did not meet the academic requirements for admission into the big colleges. He was a really fast running back, and lots of big schools were interested, but he had to go far away from his home in Maryland to a small junior college in Southern California to get on the right track. He was homesick for a long, long time, but he did what he needed to do, and he tells me he ended up earning a full scholarship to San Jose State University. Obviously, he had become a much better student. Now, words like focus and consistency really meant something. At times, he says it was hard trying to balance team meetings, workouts, film sessions, practices, and schoolwork, but you just get it done. He says that experience helps him balance his busy schedule today, and he learned to be on time, to be accountable, and to be on point. He says traveling across the country for away games was exhausting. His motto for his team was absolute loyalty. Be loyal to your team, loyal to your university, loyal to your family, loyal to yourself. Now that's a lesson for all of us. After graduation, he worked at the Library of Congress for a while before getting into teaching and coaching. So for those of you who will be playing sports at the next level, I'd like to make a suggestion for a pathway that will help you keep you on the sports for the rest of your career, for the rest of your life, and that is, as Ms. Belinsky said, become a teacher. If you'll major in science, math, world language, special education, and other hard-to-fill specialties, I'll guarantee you a job, and you can continue to coach in your favorite sport or sports. For all of you, athlete or not, college or not, work or trade school, there are lots of lessons to take away from those shared experiences. Own your own decisions. Commit to the work ahead for your own sake and for your team. Be loyal to your team and yourself. Manage your time. Be prepared to make mistakes and to learn from them. Ask for help when you need it. As my old friend Nick Saban says, becoming a champion is not an easy process. It is done by focusing on what it takes to get there, not on getting there. Graduates, whatever you seek in life, I encourage you to commit to do what it takes to get there. If you do, then you will. Good luck.
Thank you, Dr. Curry. Our next speaker is Matthew Harris, who is a graduate with distinction. He is representing his fellow students today. Matthew will attend the University of South Carolina Honors College. He will be majoring in aerospace engineering. Matthew played varsity soccer, where he was named to the all-conference soccer team. He also played lacrosse and was in the National Honor Society. Matthew is an Eagle Scout and received the Makel Scholarship as one of the top 3 in the senior class. He also received the Senior Scholar Athlete Award. Would Matthew's family please stand? Please welcome Matthew.
Oh yeah!
Thank you for that introduction, Brianna. Good afternoon to all family, friends, faculty, distinguished guests, and thank you for celebrating with us the graduation of the Calvert class of 2019. I'm honored to represent not only the graduates with distinction, but the class as a whole. Before I begin, I gotta shout out the boys, Ryan Wojo, Caden Kimmel, and Parker, aka Drake Donnelly, for giving me some insight and preparing me to write this speech. Thank you guys. First, I'd like to reflect on what we've been through the past 4 years. Some of us were lucky enough to have Mr. Sturridge for not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different classes. Just so to thank him, we put a couple of rubber ducks in his room. By a couple, I mean roughly 5,000. So Mr. Sturridge told us a couple years ago he was planning on retiring when we graduated, but I like to think we inspired him to stay a couple more years. So underclassmen, you can thank us later. Or despise us later when you're in the office with a phone referral, but whose fault is that? Some of us were also lucky enough to have Mr. King as a teacher. Now, he was a teacher that truly cared about his students. This was evident through the fact that he regularly let them beat him in chess to make them feel better about themselves. Those of us who had Mr. Kurtz were bound to learn many important lessons, some relating to math, such as how to factor, solve for x, find a derivative, some not relating to math, like how to putt a golf ball. And lastly, I can't forget about Miss Walmart, because not only is she an amazing math teacher, but she did something else we all appreciate, enforce the dress code. Switching gears from our amazing faculty, and obviously I left some out, I couldn't name everyone, but you all know who you are and we appreciate you guys. But I would like to say a few words about our athletics, because in my unbiased opinion, we have to be one of the most athletic classes to ever come through Calvert High. This is evident through our many athletes moving on to the next level, play collegiately, and also our success in all sports and all seasons. But I gotta start with the boys soccer team, because we were the team that finally beat Huntingtown for the first time in over a decade. Boys and girls track and cross country both consistently competed for state and regional championships. You know, Justin has so many medals in state championships now that he might have finally forgotten about 6th grade when I beat him in the mile. I'll never forget that. Football had a great season. Let's give it up for Dre and the Box Boys. And lastly, I promise a shout out to Chad and Levi. They made it to states for tennis doubles. Let's give them a round of applause. I could keep going because I could go on forever, but we want to graduate sometime today. So if you remember those guys I mentioned at the beginning, it was them, among some others, that drove me to be in a position to speak to you all today. Even though they're some of my best friends, we competed constantly to see who could get the most hundreds, who could do better on certain tests, AP exams, who could procrastinate the most and still get everything done, and above all, who could earn the highest class rank. This competition, I would say, it brought out the best in all of us. And we're all better off because of it. So this is just one of the many instances that prove that competition breeds excellence. I say this not because I want the recognition or anything. I just want to make the point that a culture that values competition will be superior to one that does not. In a generation that has seen school boards decline to recognize the valedictorian, I fear that this competitive spirit will fade away. Competing for valedictorian is just one personal example that I can elaborate on, but I know many of my classmates have had different experiences. Many of us have already competed for admission to colleges. Some have competed for athletic scholarships. Some have already had to compete for job placement. And some have competed just to graduate, despite tough family or financial situations. So I congratulate all my classmates who have found a way to win, no matter the challenge faced. Competition, as long as we value it, will always be a part of our lives, and it will always lead to excellence. So find confidence in the fact that you have won by being here, and use that confidence to take on new challenges. Speaking of excellence, the great J. Cole once said, "We got dreams and we got the right to chase them." The great thing about this country we're all blessed to live in is that we have equality of opportunity, but not equality of outcome. Anyone, regardless of race, gender, or background, has the opportunity to dream big and reach those dreams with the right amount of dedication and work ethic. Ben Carson, for example, grew up in Detroit, where his single mother worked multiple jobs to make ends meet. From a young age, he dreamed of being a doctor as he observed a local hospital. You fast forward to today, and he's one of the most famous neurosurgeons ever, and he's began a new career in politics. But he only made it this far because he relentlessly followed his passion and would not accept failure. By graduating today, we have showed to some extent that we will not accept failure. Though the challenges we face are likely to become much more difficult, our never fail mindset must remain. With With that being said, failure is not the end of the world. When we fail a test in high school, for example, we hopefully either study harder for the next one or study harder for the retake. Small failures along the way turn into lessons. But the moment we begin to accept failure is the moment our dreams will start to escape us. If we work hard enough and take these failures as lessons, anything's possible. So after today, I see many of us with these stoles and these decorations. From many aspects of high school, it just won't matter anymore. No employer will ask or care about your high school GPA or how good you were at basketball. We'll all walk out of here with the same diploma. So as of right now, we are all on an equal playing field, and we all have the same opportunities ahead of us. But only those of us who are willing to work hard, compete, and above all, be good people, will have successful and fulfilling lives. And I can promise everyone sitting in front of me right now is capable of this. So the message I want to leave you all with today is this. Dream big, but dream smart. Know your worth, choose your battles, and find a way to win more than you lose. Be confident in the fact that you have reached this milestone, but don't stop here. Continue to compete for your dreams, because at the end of the day, life has a scoreboard, and either you play the game or you watch the game play you. Thank you, God bless, and good luck in the future.
Thank you, Matthew. Now we come to the moment we have anticipated. Today is the culmination of our determination and hard work. We know that receiving our diplomas is the product of our own efforts, but that those efforts are combined in concert with those of our families, our teachers, and our school community. We give sincere thanks to one and all. The presentation of diplomas will be conducted by Dr. Curry with assistance of our Board of Education members, Ms. Belinsky, Ms. Claggett, Ms. Cousins, Ms. McGuire, and Mr. Faley. I would now like to present to you the Calvert High School graduating class of 2019 for the awarding of diplomas and certificates. Faculty members, Ms. Andreessen and Mr. Watson, will read the names of the members of the senior class. Seniors, please approach the stage as directed to receive your diplomas.
Graduate with distinction representative, Matthew Harris. The 2019 senior class president of Calvert High School, Brianna Douglas.
Selena Davis Antosh.
Peyton Robert Kimmel.
Gabriella Marie Bacchus.
Angel Lynn Contra.
Michaela Amanda Bell.
Nicholas Joseph Lettieri.
Kayla Rose Brennan.
Jeffrey Thomas Malone.
Joshua David Bush.
Andrew Cameron McCorson III.
Alora Grace Deller.
Jessica Ann Mashurk.
Justin Matthew Deal.
Elias Domingo Prieto.
Parker Allen Donnelly.
Lur Reed Reagan.
Dominic Charles Fiore.
Abby Tomiko Reeby.
Sydney Anna Friedel.
Emily Ann Shattuck.
Megan Lee Galvin.
Ashley Marie Smith.
Josephine Serena Hughes.
Claire Ann Thompson.
Ryan Matthew Hurst.
Kendall Marie Ward.
David Michael Alwan.
Ryan James Wojciechowski.
Emily Ann Altamare.
Catherine Alma Wojciech.
Kayla Simone Anderson.
Benjamin Joseph Lash.
Devin David Ardicani.
Thomas Samuel Kempster.
Troy Joseph Arias.
Jamila Kantun Khan.
Benjamin Anthony Aris.
Jake Thomas Gronkowski.
Liam Robert Aris.
Megan Elizabeth Cooper.
Corinne Elizabeth Bailey.
Elizabeth Lynn Latchaw.
Jordan Anthony Batson.
Cindy Vanessa Lima Santos.
Meredith Ann Baxter.
Claire Elizabeth Libby.
Brianna K. Leanne Beckett.
Garrett Anthony Libby.
Shinar Bekna Zarova.
Bradley Edison Litz Jr.
Brendan James Bell.
Christopher Thomas Long Jr.
Autumn Rose Bavard Chewilliger.
Amanda Noel Lynch.
Jacob William Bowen.
Michaela Nicole Lynch.
Joseph Donald Bowles.
Trayvon Marquise Makel.
Austin Charles Brennan.
D'Angela McQuaid Magruder.
Jaquan Delante Brogdon.
Ryan Alexander Maines.
Colin Gabriel Brooks.
Nathan Javier Maldonado Munoz.
Matthew Robert Brooks.
Miranda Alexandra Maldonado.
Jaquela Cheyenne Lenora Brown.
Sarah Catherine Malone.
Philip Hayden Brown.
Jonathan Wayne Duke Morlow.
Haley Alexis Browning.
Alexis Rose Marshall.
Gabrielle Rose Boobin.
Patricia Bronwyn Massey.
Kalilia Lindaria Monet Buck.
Andrew Robert Madison.
Trinity Samantha Butler.
Taylor Brooke May.
Nathaniel Ryan Callahan.
Hannah Marie McBride.
Leandre Reed Campbell.
Jamie Elise McCoy.
Cross Owen Cantor.
Gary George McDaniel.
Angelia Joy Carson.
Billy Jean McKee.
Rachel Eileen Carson.
Akila Imani McLean.
Manuel De Jesus Castillo James.
Alyssa Madeline Melton.
Neil Morrison Chapman Jr.
James Michael Merica Jr.
Jeremiah Jacob Clark.
Dylan Marcella Merkel.
Jordan Lee Clements.
Alyssa Taylor Myers.
Cody Joseph Cochran.
Hunter Stephen Machiki.
Jenna Marie Cockrell.
Kira Elizabeth Middleton.
Victoria Ann Cole.
Celeste Maureen Milani.
Alexis Renee Commodore.
Patrick Sean Miller.
Craig Damone Commodore.
Brianna Lauren Mims.
Kiara Renee Commodore.
Haley Elaine Moore.
Anthony Davis Covington.
Anna Lee Morris.
Jager Stan Croson.
Justin Kobe Morcell.
King Nova Cupid Ramirez.
Micah Ruben Murphy.
Luis Enrique de Silva Santos.
Jerron Antonio Nathan.
Maddie Nicole Dahlberg.
Josue Armando Navarro.
Ashley Rose Dacus.
Valerie Renee Neff.
Cody Mitchell Dalrymple.
McKaylee Adine O'Gorman.
Holly Marie Ann Dalrymple.
Siobhan Parang Korekji.
Jonathan LaVille Davis Jr.
Kayla Mackenzie Pauley.
Melvin Francis Davis.
Travis Lee Petco Jr.
Thomas James Denton.
Kayla Anella Pham.
James Wilfred DeRocher IV.
Gabriel Michael Pyatt.
Andrew Macklin DiMaggio.
Joseph Robert Petros.
Charles Anthony Ditmars.
Charnice Danae Pittman.
Jamela LaShawn Dorsey.
Levi Todd Pixton.
Brittany Marie Douglas.
Tahir Malik Plater.
Haley Mae Dowling.
Kara Ann Poole.
Gavin Tanner Edge.
Anita Denise Pope.
Maren Marie Els.
Alex Keith Prahashmi.
Mackenzie Ross Eller.
Kaluji Allen Prater Jr.
Maurice Allen Enfield.
Jaden Patrick Preston.
Christopher James Irwin.
Jaden Alexis Perwinsky.
Alexis Lene Evans.
Thomas Peter Pullen.
Matthew Tanner Fellows.
Morgan Alexis Humphrey.
Marquand Tyreek Fenwick Davis.
Ryan Joseph Rachik.
Ariana Alexis Fleet.
Sarah Beth Raniker.
Tyler Camden Fling.
Nevin Anthony Reed.
Justin Patrick Fluharty.
Christian Raymond Reynolds.
Kayla Nicole Ford.
Adam Christopher Ridge.
Kayla Nicole Forrest.
Isaiah Jude Roberts.
Kira Noel Foster.
Colin J. Rowley.
Shay Alexa Ray Fox.
Victoria Louise Russell.
Nicholas Giovanni Fratantuano.
Ryan Michael Sams.
Justin Lee Freeman.
William Michael Schooley.
Leonard Bryson III.
Ethan Joseph Schultz.
Miranda Garcia Calderon.
Destiny Renee Schwallemer.
David Anthony Garcia.
Kaylee Elizabeth Setti.
Dartavius Kayvon Gaston.
Sophia Antoinette Schenberger.
Isaac Andrew George.
Matthew Douglas Short.
Emily Grace Gibson.
Christopher Rowan Shooter.
Jacqueline Danielle Gleason.
Victoria Maylin Simmons.
Jared Andrew Gott.
Chad Joseph Smilak.
Ayana Shanice Gray.
Ashley Michelle Smith.
Leslie David Green II.
Mackenzie Kiernan Smith.
Michael Anthony Green.
Ryan Austin Smith.
Antonio Juan Gross.
Ryan Charles Smith.
Zanaya Siobhan Gross.
Shelby Lynn Smith.
Madison Elissa Grover.
Ariana Nicole Sophos.
Arrington Christiana Guttrick.
Susanna Soriano.
Grace Helen Guyton.
Paola Alana Sotomayor Vigeja.
Andrew Wesley Habert.
Maya Nicole Spate.
Jeanette Carol Hall.
Morgan Alaire Spalding.
Hadrian Rolanye Hall.
Haley Ann Stanowitz.
Connor Charles Hallberg.
Joseph Thomas Stout.
Kelsey Michelle Hancock.
Taylor Jolene Strobel.
Christopher Michael Hans Jr.
Megan Elizabeth Sapanich.
Maurice Harris Jr.
Angel Brooke Swank.
Micah Alexander Harvey.
Cynthia Peralita Tapper.
Dakota Ray Haynes.
Jessica Lynn Taylor.
Dylan Kirk Hicks.
Toby Lee Tenuta II.
Zachary Matthew Hillpiper.
Kyle Wakefield Thomas.
Jason Kevin Hoffman Jr.
Gabrielle Lucinda Tony.
Ayana Janae Holston.
Samuel Wes Turner.
Alexis Marie Honig.
Mackenzie Ann Blandingham.
Kaylin Elizabeth Hooper.
Haiti Outlier Vasquez Signs.
Caleb Douglas Hostet.
Gabriel Emart Bukad McMudo.
Asan Jisaiah Hudson.
Hunter Daniel Waddell.
Jason Finn Huseman.
Sophia Isabel Walker.
Melissa Lee Jacobs.
Janaea Cheyenne Washington.
Joshua DeAndre Janey.
Raina Renee Washington.
Alexander Joseph Jenkins.
Corey John MacArthur Watson.
Keontre Antoine Johnson.
Ada Hope Weems.
Matthew Tayshawn Johnson.
Elizabeth Marie Weems.
Taylor Renee Johnson.
Jawan Stewart Weems.
Lania Renee Jordan.
Hannah Elizabeth Wessels.
Victor Charles Brooks, Jr.
Catherine Mackenzie White.
Audacia Charmaine Holland.
Tyrod Kieran White. Isaiah Sylvester Willett. Brooke Cheyenne Williams. Nicholas Isaiah Williams. Camry Renee Wills. Eric Delonte Wilson Jr. Bradley Michael Wilson. Anthony Ryan Windsor. Haley Lynn Withers. Jingjing Yu. Emily Marie Young. Ethan John Madison. Carson Thomas Miles. Savon Jamel Weems. Malachi McCain.
To conclude our ceremony, I once again introduce our principal, Dr. Lucas.
Would the members of the class of 2019 please stand? I ask Matthew and Brianna to join me at the podium. Dr. Curry, members of the Calvert County Board of Education, distinguished guests, parents, family, and friends. In recognition of the fulfillment of the standards established by the Maryland State Department of Education for minimum enrollment credits earned and competency prerequisite requirements, and under the authority given to me by the Calvert County Board of Education, I present our candidates for graduation or certificates of attendance, the Calvert High School class of 2019. Graduates, please turn your tassels. Thank you, family, friends, and special guests for attending and making this a most memorable and special occasion today. Please stand in your seating area as the graduates leave the arena.